What's up? It's Susie from Hey Grill Hey, and today I'm making one of my husband's most favorite dishes. It is a smoked beef tenderloin with a beautiful white wine mushroom sauce on top. He loves this one. I have a feeling you're gonna love it too, so let's do it. This is a really simple and beautiful recipe that I think focuses pretty heavily on ingredients. So we're starting with a 1.5 to 2 pound beef tenderloin roast. Now this is what filet mignon steaks are cut from. So when it comes to a roast, this is not going to be stringy, dry, chewy. This is gonna be incredibly tender. We're cooking it to a nice medium rare. This is a bougie kind of recipe. This is a fancy steak experience.
Are you saying I have bougie ideas?
You have bougie ideas. We're gonna start this with a wet rub instead of a dry rub. So it's gonna kind of get a seasoning and a slather all in one, and it's really delicious. So a little bit of olive oil, some salt, some pepper, some fresh thyme leaves, and then some fresh minced garlic. Okay, so you can see this is kind of pasty. It's not totally liquid, right? But it's not a dry, you're looking tan, Todd.
I'm just
tan
red.
and rosy.
Just red all the
Not
time.
pasty though. We've got a nice pasty seasoning blend on the outside here. And that's just gonna go on the outside of our beef tenderloin. And we're kind of gonna rub it. Now rubbing is gonna do a couple of things. It's gonna distribute the seasoning evenly across the beef. It's also gonna release some of the oils and the flavor from the thyme and the garlic. Beef tenderloin is pretty mild in terms of beefy flavor because there's not a lot of fat in here. So this wet rub on the outside, the white wine mushroom gravy that we're putting on top, all of those things are gonna help us end up with a really flavorful, super delicious finished product.
I got a question. We're all wondering about this. Why didn't you just put a glove on?
I like to wash my hands. I don't know. You can wear a glove, I guess, if you want. I'm not scared of cooking with my hands. The only time that I really wear a glove is when we're cooking on camera because people yell at me in the comments.
Yell away. You
but
have
when
my
I'm
permission.
cooking
Please
at home,
don't leave a comment.
when I'm cooking at home, I cook with my hands. I like to be able to feel the food that I'm making.
Cool.
And I wash them really well. Okay, so this is seasoned and it's ready to get cooked. A little more garlic on there.
You left some on the spoon.
Sorry.
No man left behind.
Okay, this is seasoned, it's ready to cook. So you can do this on your smoker, 225 for about an hour. I'm gonna be doing this on charcoal with 2-zone heat, some post oak chunks over the coals. It'll probably be running about 250, so I'm planning on about 45 minutes. In the low temperature smoke, this will give us a nice medium rare in the middle. We're looking for about 115 to 120 internal temperature during the first part of this cook.
You said chunks. I have chunks and chips. What one?
Chips.
You're gonna go with chips?
We're gonna go with chips.
Why? Explain to the people.
Because this is a really short cook time, chips are gonna give us a really good burst of smoke in the beginning. I want a heavier smoke because it's not in the smoke for long. So I'm okay if it's a little bit dirty smoke, a little bit heavy smoke, and I can keep adding wood chips throughout the cooking process if I need to add more smoke while it's going.
Cool.
Okie dokie.
Do you want some help?
Sure. I actually am on the flippy side. While our beef tenderloin is smoking, we gotta make the part that Todd wanted the most, which is this like white wine creamy mushroom gravy.
Think like Jaeger schnitzel, but better.
Yeah, so Todd lived in Germany for a little bit, and his favorite dressing, like topping, sauce, gravy?
Yeah, sauce.
For schnitzel was like a Jaeger style schnitzel, which was a mushroom and cream base. So he challenged me to make one of those for a beef tenderloin, and I thought it sounded super good. Very easy, here's how you do it. 4 tablespoons salted butter in the bottom of a cast iron skillet. We're gonna add in some finely diced shallots. Cook those for a couple of minutes until the shallots are nice and translucent, and then add in our diced mushrooms. These are baby portobello mushrooms, but you can use cremini mushrooms or white button mushrooms. Pick your favorite. Once these have cooked down about 5 minutes, we're gonna add in a couple tablespoons of all-purpose flour. This is gonna be the thickener, but we don't want it to taste or clump like flour, so I'm gonna cook it in the butter with the mushrooms in the pan for a couple of minutes. You'll notice some nice crispy, crunchy brownies happening at the bottom of the pan. We want that. we pour in a cup of white wine and a cup of beef stock. And as those go in, it's really important to scrape the bottom of the pan. Those yummy brown bits is called the fond, and that will release into your gravy and give you the most flavorful, really rich, delicious gravy. Swirl in some heavy cream, some fresh thyme, crack in some fresh black pepper and some kosher salt to taste. Turn off the heat, set the gravy aside. We want it to stay warm to serve on top of our beef tenderloin. Beef tenderloin has been on, gravy is ready to go. Our beef tenderloin is clocking with our internal thermometer. I tested a second ago. We're shooting for like a 115er. 116, 115?
Dude.
That's a money shot right there. Okay, so that means to me, it's time to sear. So I open this up, we're heating up these coals, so there's a lot of airflow, super high heat. You can do this searing step. If you're cooking this on your smoker to start, you can sear this in a cast iron skillet, you can sear it on a gas grill, whatever you want. What we're looking for is to finish cooking it through and get a nice crispy, crunchy crust on the outside. Really like brown up that garlic, crisp up that beef. It should only take 1 to 2 minutes per side, and then we can eat it. Our beautiful roast is seared. I like to let this rest for like 10 or so minutes before I slice into it. Somewhere during this resting process, I lost Todd, but I just have this feeling that as soon as I start slicing this and plating it, he will magically reappear. So consider this your summons, Todd. Now when I cut this, I like to just go into little medallions. Oh, get out of here. About 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch thick. You can see it's a beautiful pink inside. You've got a gorgeous pink ring from the smoke around the outside. And then of course we have this beautiful white wine, super rich and creamy mushroom gravy. Now you can serve this on the side, or if you're plating this for like a fancy dinner situation, you can just spoon it right on top of your serving dish.
I'm here. I
Told you.
Sorry. Electrician showed up.
It's the best time of the video.
I
It's
would
taste
agree.
test Todd time. You ready? What do you think?
It's fantastic. I can taste the post oak, that's for dang sure.
Smoky, so tender. I mean, I cut it with a butter knife, but I probably wouldn't have even
Just
needed a
fork.
knife at all. Slightly smoky, good garlic flavor. And this mushroom gravy is
It's wiped
rich
out, dude.
and decadent. So delicious. This is a little bit of a bougie meal for sure, but I think if you have a special occasion, you can't top a smoked beef tenderloin.
It's rich,
So good.
but it's good rich.
All right. Wrap it up,
Let's
Todd.
wrap it up. We're getting the signs from the people buying the camera.
If you want this recipe, grab it on heygrillhey.com or in the Hey Grill Hey app. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.
That was great.
Thanks.